fans, a much-needed victory in the win column for the Orange and Blue. They get it done in the third game of this four-game series. It hasn't been easy up to this point. We've known that. Ray and I have talked about it. We'll continue to talk about what needs to be addressed. But tonight, the Mets came through. Juan Soto, you can't ask for anything more. 2 home runs, his 27th multi-home run game, passing the great Jimmy Fox for the most all-time before turning 27 years old. This is a special player. We are watching the prime of Juan Soto, the ascension of Juan Soto, and then the youth. Ronnie Mauricio, his first career 3-hit game. Maybe he's starting to come around. Maybe he's starting to take third base. You got Mark Vientos coming back tomorrow. Beatty looks like he's turned a corner some nights. So this is a real juggle that the Mets got going on. Unbelievable defense from Jeff McNeil tonight as well. Climbing the wall, looking like Spider-Man. The Braves got Lindor back at the end of the game too, Harrison center field. But hey, a punch is a punch thrown, and a punch is only as good as the one you could take. And the Mets took one, and they fought through it like Buffalo, as Mendy said. Buffalo mentality. They run to the storm. And that's where this Mets team is going. They are not avoiding anybody. Clay Holmes tonight was excellent to a point, but the Mets bullpen to a point, other than Pintaro. We'll get to him, big league debut. Mets 47-34. Ray, let's go, Mets.
That's right. Shout out to our Met Cast player of the And could it be none other than Juan Soto, 2 for 4, 2 Jackson? It's so wild. Tell me these balls are not dead. He mashed those home runs, and they're skating right over the fence. But at the end of the day, it gets over. And it's good to see the bats finally break out. When you really look at, like you just mentioned, Brett Beatty's got 5 hits over his last 3 games. Very encouraging signs. And guys, I know we're a quick trigger here as fans. We wear our hearts on our sleeves. I'm sure you guys also feel a lot of what we feel, but sometimes you got to give these players a little bit of time to adjust. Mauricio has a home run today. Everybody's contributing. One thing we've been speaking about over the last few days, it's everybody doesn't have a hit, but when you're going down this lineup, Lindor's slump continues. 0 for 4 today. But Nimmo has a hit. Soto's got 2 hits. Pete's got a hit. McNeil's got 2 hits. Marte's got a hit. You have Beatty with 2 hits. Mauricio going 3 for 4. Even Hayden Sanger gets a hit. And when you do that, you battle. It puts the other team in a brutal position. It's going to build up those pitch counts. It's going to let you see more pitches. And overall, the effectiveness of this team rose today. And another thing we got to address, Clay Holmes, I don't want to hear he's tired. I don't want to hear any of that crap. Lights out against the Braves. Really good start, only allowing that 1 earned run. Beatty's making plays at third. This is the New York Mets we expected to see. And I'm going to be very honest with you guys. I need to see this same team tomorrow. We saw the 7 home run game in Atlanta. I want to see obviously not 7 home runs, but I want to see the same fire, the same passion in this game tomorrow. It's so essential to win back-to-back games, get on a little streak, and get that good juju back. And listen, Mark Vientos is coming back. I'm hoping Jared Young, it's the last time we ever see him on this roster. If it's not, I will be ticked off to all hell. Winker's about to start his rehab assignment. Sanga's throwing at Citi Field. Hopefully, Manaea, we get good news probably tomorrow. Hopefully, we get some good news, and the good vibes will be back with this clubhouse. We could simmer down a little bit on the trade talk. I hear a lot of people, the people over on WFAN talking about it. Every sports show, ESPN's talking about it. And we all know we need bats. But we need to see what we have. And that's why David Stearns, regardless if I like it or you like it, he's going to be patient. He's going to wait to the deadline to make these trades. And Evan Roberts made a great point on his show yesterday. Now that there's more teams, now more than ever, making the playoffs, I think that we should really start to advocate as fans, moving the trade deadline back at least 2 weeks because there's no sellers. Go up and down the American League, go up and down the National League. You're gonna have a couple of teams that might be sellers. And a report came out earlier today from Bob Nightingale, and I hope it's not true. I don't want anything to do with this guy, Roberts, the center fielder over on Chicago, saying the New York Mets have checked in. I believe he's due $20 million a year over the next couple of years. He flat out stinks. And he's going to come here, a lot of hype, and he can't handle Chicago. What makes you think he's going to be able to handle New York? So the rumors are already flying all over the place. But it's a good win. David Stearns, one thing I'm glad he's not sitting on his hands. We said goodbye to Dickey today. You say goodbye to Castillo today. Both lefties are gone. He's trying to make moves, and Stearns knows he's no fool. This bullpen has been dramatically overused. I would almost consider this if we get healthy, Montas stays healthy, Senga comes back, Minaya comes back, maybe you try to do a couple of those games where Blackburn actually is like a second starting pitcher because this bullpen, Dan, needs some breathers. The fact we had to bring in Edwin Diaz today kind of really stinks because I would love to have him on a couple days rest for tomorrow, for this weekend, because the run starts now.
It does. And you talked about the lefties in the pen. That's a hole that the Mets need to fill. Hopefully Brooks Raley is the guy when he comes back. It just slots in perfectly. But you lose Castillo and you also lose Lovelady, yes. But you bring in Waddell. And tonight he was really solid. He's not going to overpower you. But he's kind of been in this lineage of Mets not hard-throwing relievers. We've seen a lot of them. And Aaron Loop comes to mind. And then, of course, Rule 5, we lost him very recently, Nate Lavender. Just two names right there. It's just hasn't been a solidified guy. And hopefully Brooks Raley coming back. It should have been Minter this year. We know that when we're talking about lefties. That was probably one of the bigger losses of the Mets season. They talked about it on the broadcast, too. It's hard to ignore. And it just is a trickle-down effect. Danny Young goes down as well. So, yeah, hopefully that gets addressed. And to the bottom of this lineup, it finally is producing. And I'll touch on Soto quick and go back to the bottom of the lineup. In June, Juan Soto is unbelievable, guys. We can't keep ignoring it. A 220 WRC plus, a 315 average. He is just smoking. It seems like every single ball. Multi-hit home run games. It's really good to see, and it's very refreshing. And then the bottom part of this lineup, we talk about 6 through 9. Anything under 5, really, but McNeil coming through today, which was great. But even Marte, 108.5 off the bat. He smokes a sacrifice fly to center. That's all we need. That's baseball. You could hit it, square it up, perfect, but it often finds a guy, and that's the humbling part of the game. But hey, Mauricio, Beatty, I hope this bottom half of the order has turned a corner.
I would not be surprised, regardless of Mauricio having a very solid game today, if he's the guy that gets optioned. Now that I think about it more and more, I don't want it to be. I'd rather it be Jared Young, especially if McNeil's going to be able to make plays like that. And I just seen the one comment from San. They need to play the same lineup Vientos can DH. I agree. But when you hear Carlos Mendoza talk, oh, he's feeling good. He played third base. He's looking good over there. He's making his throws. He's getting around. The plan is to have him play third base. I don't understand it. I think that's why Mauricio might get sent down. You might see them slide Vientos back to third and Beatty back to second base. I think that's the easy move. Maybe Mauricio could stick around to play against left-handers there, but that would be what I would do. I would do that, Sam. That would be my preference, is to have Vientos just be a full-time DH. Tell him he could still play a couple of days in the field here or there, and then the offseason he's really got to hammer home his defense. But that's where I stand. Where do you stand, Dan? And then we'll get to some more of these comments. Really quickly, guys, if you're here enjoying the content with us daily, just do us a favor. Leave us a thumbs up. Maybe consider becoming a member. Our members have been growing rapidly. I did not realize as much. That's when I reach out to you personally, have personal conversations over on Facebook. You can reach out to me if you're a verified member, either here or officially subscribed over on Facebook. We give you the insight. We give you the priority questions to our guests, which we will be having on the off days and in the off season. So consider that. That's the best way to support the channel, to become a member or officially subscribe over on Facebook. Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, and quickly too, like a couple things.
Hold on, gotta stop you, Dan.
Sure.
We got BG the Kid with a super chat. BG, thank you so much, my guy. We always do that. If you super chat, right to the top of the line. And no, we're not going to always get to everybody's comments, but BG, thanks so much. Sup, fellas? Vientos, Beatty, Mauricio, got to be in the lineup every day. Yes, I wanted them all sent down yesterday. JK, bro, we're not JKing. I was right there with you, big dog. I'll tell you this, though. Vientos is going to get a shot. They have to find out what they have at third base. But if we're being honest, the best lineup would be Vientos hitting fifth behind Alonso as the DH. My preference right now, Lindor, Nimmo, Soto, Alonso, Vientos, Mauricio, Beatty, or you could swap them back and forth because Mauricio's a switch hitter, but Beatty has proven over these last several games, these are big games, Dan, and he's the only one consistently hitting. He's got a hit in every single game against the Braves, 5 hits in his last 3 games. Maybe he's finally starting to put it together. You got to give him a run. And the reason why you got to give him a run as well, I agree with you, BG, is another thing not a lot of people are thinking about. When the deadline approaches, myself, you, the fans, Dan, Stearns, Mendoza, we need to know what the hell we have on this team. I don't want it to be July 31st, and we're sitting here saying, Vientos, you know, he's only played 2 games at third base, and when he's not, Marte's DHing, or, you know, Mauricio's been coming off the bench. He really has been playing second. Beatty's getting a taste every so often, or Beatty's really should be a defensive third baseman, but they're throwing him all over the place. Is that affecting his offense? Because let's be real, Beatty is best suited at third base, and when he's playing lights out defense like he has been, it typically translates to his bat. He is a confidence-driven player. So I agree with you, BG, and thank you very much for that super chat.
Yeah, and BG, real quick, I agree. These guys need to play every day, Mauricio especially, and that's really what you're dealing with right now. And in the crossroads that is the New York Mets, do you send down Jared Young? Do you send down Ronnie Mauricio? I'll have a poll going up on my X very soon. Don't get me wrong. Like, that's kind of the decision that the Mets are probably dwelling with tonight and trying to figure out. But quickly, before I go back to just the comment I have to Ray, Metcast trivia, before we kind of wrap this up and everything, just want to get this out. Give you guys a couple minutes here. What one-time New York Met went by the nickname Kong? So that is
I don't even know that.
What one-time New York Met went by the nickname Kong? And I'll give you guys some.
K-O-N-G?
Yes.
Okay.
George Foster, Dave Kingman, Ed Kranepool, or Darryl Strawberry. So I'll leave that out.
I know it. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, and then real quick too, a couple things. Like, I really think that these guys are building value, and we talk about the deadline that's coming. It's constantly on my mind because there's a lot of things that the Mets need to address. This isn't just, oh yeah, we're confident, we really like our guys. You can love Brett Beatty, you can love Ronnie Mauricio, Mark Vientos, Tyrone Taylor, Jeff McNeil. You need some other bat in this lineup. And if it is Luis Robert, I know you cringe at the name and the sound of it, Ray, but listen, it has to be somebody.
All right, that's it. Enough of this crap.
You know, it has to be someone. It's not going to be.
Enough of it. All right, hold on. Here we go.
Jaron Duran's not happening.
I don't want Jared Duran. The guy's got he's a league average player with 7 home runs.
Right.
No thanks. But I can't believe you're going to make me do this, and it's going to make our stuff look awful. But here we go. Luis Roberts, Dan Savior. Let's take a peek. OPS plus would be dead last over the last 2 years for the New York Mets for anyone with 100 or more at bats. Dead last. Guess what else? He'd be dead last on the Phillies, the Braves, and he'd be right in the middle of the pack of the Marlins. He stinks. 185. Look, it's not a small sample size. 249 at bats. 185.
It's awful.
Think about this. 249 at bats. Project that over a full season, 8 home runs. So he's going to hit 20 home runs, 185, and maybe get 60 RBIs. Hell no. And I don't want to hear, Dan, I respect your opinion. You can have your opinion. You guys can have your opinions. But I know there's a lot of Met fans. Bring me the proven commodity. Because I'll tell you right now, the Mets, or not the Mets, Chicago wants a massive haul. I am not giving up Jet Williams for Luis Roberts, and that's what it's going to take. That's everything we hear. A lot of teams say, well, 2 years ago he was good. You know who else was good a couple of years ago? Jeff McNeil was winning batting titles. How's that working out? Do you think the Mets have the right to call the Giants on the West Coast and say, well, McNeil hit 330 like 50 years ago in 2020 with a juice ball. I think you should pay us off him. Luis Roberts' statistics were done during the juice ball era. No thanks. No thanks. If I'm going to swing big, I'm going to swing like hell for Byron Buxton. If I'm giving up Jet Williams, a future star I know everybody doesn't agree with me, but I truly believe he is a future star in this league. I'm not giving him up unless I'm getting a guy of Byron Buxton caliber back. I'm just not. Because let me ask you right now, Dan, you tell me. The trade goes through, straight up. Jet Williams, Luis Roberts, where's he hitting in the batting order?
Probably 5th.
But it's a probably.
I would assume he would bat 5th. I don't know where else he would bat him, honestly. If you're bringing him in
Let me ask you right now: is he better? Is he a better player than Brett Beatty right now?
He's not better. Well, Beatty maybe. McNeil, no.
Vientos?
No. Probably. But
hitting wise,
yeah, probably not. Then I don't know. That's tough. That's a close.
You could argue 5th, but you could also argue he should be the second leadoff hitter in the 9-hole. And I'm not giving up a top 25 prospect, the only one we've had in the last 10 years to potentially come out. And I'm not including, obviously, Francisco Alvarez. I'm talking about overall position guys, outfielders, pitchers, and, premier positions, center field, shortstop. No way. That's just me. Maybe it happens.
I hear.
Let's get to some more of these chats over here. Goomba, I got to get that Greta Thunberg thing. How dare you? In the words of Major League, they still are a ish team. Get out of here, Goomba. I don't want to hear nonsense. Positive vibes, bro. We got to speak truth to power here. Positive vibes.
100%.
That's why I make the graphics. I love those things, man.
Yeah.
Dan says, big win right there. Just like that. Can split the series with a win tomorrow. I may go as far to say tomorrow is a must win. You got to get the good juju. You have to, Dan. You can't lose tomorrow. Tomorrow could set the pace for next week and the following week. That's how I look at that.
Definitely.
Dan goes, yo, woohoo, finally. I agree. I agree. And Goomba, I'll let you follow up after the first awful comment. I'll feel better if they win tomorrow, but for real, Soto is in fuego.
Yeah.
Soto, man. Remember everybody giving up on him? Remember that, Dan?
I do.
Some guy in Clark calling to trade him. Just saying.
Well,
Brendan says, let's go, Mets. That is what we all want to see. This is the team playing up to their competition or beyond. But it all comes down to tomorrow. It comes down to tomorrow. If they lose tomorrow, it all goes out the window. But if they win, what's up?
Big live tomorrow after the game. We'll see
what time's tomorrow's game?
7.
All right, good. Then I could probably do it. During the day, guys, it's very difficult. I got the baby, and no offense, I'd rather hang out with my little baby girl than hang out with you guys on a live. You guys are a close third, though, because my wife's in there. I know she watches these. Love you, honey. Clay Holmes gets his 8th win tonight. Awesome. You know what's funny? I'm not going to lie. When we signed Clay Holmes, a very close friend of mine, Paul Riley, said, it's a bad contract. I had Yankee fans on WFA, but you gave him 3 years? He's going to break down by midseason. He ain't even that good. Look at him with Pittsburgh. He has been every single thing that we've asked for, and he has played, $12 million a year. He's playing like a number 2 right now, Dan. On most teams, he's a number 2. Dare I say on Miami, he'd be their number 1.
Right.
Leo says, great win, guys. Hope Mauricio keeps that bat hot. But that's another thing, too. And I think you'll agree with me, Dan. These players, when they're that young, they're going to be like this. That's just what happens. Mauricio's going to have growing pains. Beatty, who doesn't have a ton of consistent major league experience, dare I say, is going to be inconsistent. Even Vientos, so many fans forget he burst onto the scene just last year, really the second half of the season in the playoffs. He's still going to be up and down. These guys aren't 26, 27, 28. They're not Juan Soto, obviously, but that's where you got to look at it. You're going to have a little bit of growing pains, which is okay, but you can't have 4 guys going through growing pains at the same time.
No, it's not a winning formula. Not even close. But hopefully tonight, it is. And shout out Jay Condi Eckerly, Dave Kingman, Kong.
Mm-hmm.
So good stuff there, guys. Yeah, easy one tonight. We'll speed it up as the week goes on. But
let's see what we got going on over here. Tomorrow night's trivia, Dan's going to make it tougher. Do we want to do this giveaway? If we win, I will give this away on our YouTube live. It's the Marvels Francisco Alvarez Rookie Platinum Edition. One of my favorite cards, and yes, I have 2 of them, so I will give one of them away. But we must win, and you must be on YouTube. I wasn't thinking about that, and this is how we'll pick the winner. Very simple. Dan's going to put out a nice trivia question. It's something you can't Google.
Yep.
Boys and girls, you can't Google. And the first person to get it right will win. So what's my favorite number? No, I'm just kidding.
1 through 1 million. You go.
1 through 5,000. Start commenting below. No, but that's what we'll do. Let's speak some positivity. I'm going to put my cards where my mouth is. That's something I love to do. I love collecting baseball cards. Something I did with my father growing up. Something I always love to do. No, I'm not into Pokemon like Pat Dunn, but it's something that I love to do. I have some awesome cards. We'll be doing a lot of giveaways on these lives. It's a way to say thank you to you guys. We have a lot of people becoming members, and I'm shocked by it, to be honest with you. I really am. A lot of people subscribing over on Facebook, and I just want to be able to give back to you guys. Very simple as that. Kai says, huge win. Last inning a little sketchy. Let's freaking go Mets. I'll say this. I was fairly confident we weren't blowing that. We were not pulling the Philadelphia Phillies and blowing that lead. I will say this. The kid they brought up today, I know he was a little wild, Dan, but I like his stuff.
Yeah.
His stuff is actually not too shabby when you think about it.
East to west, cutter, slider, Pintaro. Nice story, too. Was pitching in Montana 2023, 2024. Was just grinding. He was a D2 kid. And, really good stuff. It gives you hope that the Mets are developing guys and someone that they're proud of, too, which is great.
And this is why I think Jared Young's the guy to go, Dan. How about Jankowski back in the Mets dugout like the kid? It's either going to be him or Jared Young that gets cut. Let's be real. That's what I think is going to happen. Might be him, but Jared Young hasn't hit a lick except for a couple home runs. So maybe it's different. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
that's the question the Mets are asking themselves tonight. Jared Young or Ronnie Mauricio?
Mm-hmm. Let's get to a couple more before we sign off for tonight. I know a lot of you guys are commenting. If you want to get your comments read, head on over to YouTube because we cannot get to every platform. I see you folks over there on Instagram. Appreciate you guys watching live with us. Alfred says I was covering my eyes. Did they win? Yes, Alfred. We can breathe. Exhale, my friend. Exhale. Let's get to one or two more. Let's see. Yes, Dan, I did see that. White Sox signed Syndergaard tonight. Mets bring him in for the bullpen, question mark.
Well, he's signed, so I don't know. Probably not. Well, he was DFA. He was out there this past winter. We were watching videos in the December months and February months of Syndergaard throwing bullpens to coaches, and you're sitting here saying, "Oh, the Mets, just bring him in, give him a spring training invite." We were sitting here and saying, "Remember that, Ray? What's wrong with the spring training invite?"
Yep.
And yeah, the Mets never did it, so there's probably a reason why.
Dan says McNeil is definitely better than Durant. I agree. Michael says Cedric Mullins. Mullins would be one of those average bats. Here's the thing, though. We're loaded in the outfield. How many more outfield bats can you have? You got Tyron Taylor. Siri will be back this year. You have Soto. You have Nimmo. You have Marte. You have Winker. That's 6 outfielders right there. You bring him in, that'd be 7, unless you're sending back one of those guys. I don't see it happening. I think where the Mets are going to upgrade is either third base, second base, utility like that, or maybe they just get a big bat to be a permanent DH the way they did with JD Martinez. It worked out well last year.
They could. I wouldn't rule it out just yet.
Right. But all right, guys, that's all we got for you tonight. Dan, final words.
Guys, big win. I think we take a step back and we sit here and say this was a really good win for the Mets, a much needed win. Most of the team, showed up, which is great. The bottom half of the order showed up, which is great. Soto showed up, which is great. So hopefully we carry that positive energy into tomorrow, and hopefully the Mets can keep this train moving in the right direction. And if they don't, then we'll talk about it tomorrow night. But
that's right. All right, everybody. As always, let's go Mets.
Let's go Mets, guys. Have a good one.
Peace.